we're back for our daily segment of High School Science Geek. Today we have Kylee Hunter in the studio with us. Kylee, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Kylee Hunter. I'm a senior at South Elgin High School. I have played volleyball for a while, but I no longer want to continue, so I'm ready to move on to focus on my science and where I want to go with science. I am involved in multiple clubs, most of which are volunteer-based, and that's a quick little summary.
Okay. Are you involved in any academic clubs, or are they all just volunteer service work clubs?
I am involved in National Honor Society, which is an academic club. You need to qualify to be invited to apply for it, and through that club, after making it, I then get multiple chances to volunteer. And I'm also in HOSA.
And what is HOSA?
Health Occupation Students of America. It is a competition club, or it could just be you're in it just to be a part of the club. But I'm in it to compete. So there are multiple events that you can sign up for, and each of those events has a different end goal, whether it's a presentation or just a test, or you have to go through so many procedures in X number of minutes. So I am involved in that, and I'm super excited to be a part of it, because there is one event that I am really looking forward to because it's letting imagination go wild.
And do you have any thoughts or ideas on what you're going to do in that event?
I am looking towards the genetic components of addiction and seeing if there's any way to prevent substance addiction when possible, because the substances themselves can be addictive, especially physical addictions, including opioids. So what I want to do is try and target one of the main genes that is a part that kind of causes people to be addicted, and I want to see if there's a medication that we can reel that back, so then for some substances it might not be as easy to get addicted to it, therefore preventing some addiction.
That would be pretty amazing if somebody could crack that code.
Yeah.
You mentioned genetics a few times in that answer. Is that your primary focus, or?
Yes, it's my primary focus. I would really like to do more research with that.
Is that the end game?
Yes.
And what is the end game?
My end game would be getting a master's degree or a PhD in genetics after majoring in biology with a concentration in genetics or molecular biology in college, depending on what's available. And because I want to focus on human diseases, I would need that master's degree or PhD to get to the point where I can work with people.
That's a pretty focused plan for only being 18 years old and a senior in high school. How did you get to that point?
Originally, it started when I took a class called Principles of Biomedical Science, but then going back and thinking about it again, it actually started on my first day of high school in my high school biology class. They had us doing a lab where we extracted the DNA out of our cheek cells, and I thought that was the coolest thing. So that really kind of sparked my interest in biology, even though I didn't know specifically what I wanted to do yet. But then in Principles of Biomedical Science, we did more with genetic inheritance and everything. So I was able to really learn more about that and about DNA itself. So I'm really looking forward to that. Joke for you.
Oh boy. Okay.
What biochemicals wash up on beaches?
I don't know.
Nucleotides.
And why is that funny?
Because a nucleotide is a single unit of DNA. That's that subunit. It has a phosphate group, a sugar group, and a nitrogenous base, which holds all the information.
Oh, I guess that would be funny to a science geek. Right. So, you said you want to study human disease. What part of human disease fascinates you? What in terms of genetics, what factor can genetics play in human disease?
Genetics there are some diseases that it could simply be one nucleotide that's changed and it causes the entire organism to be diseased, like sickle cell anemia. That's a point mutation, which means there's only one letter, like the A, T, C, and G, like those 4 letters. One of those is changed, so then it causes your blood cells to transform back and forth between a normal red blood cell and a sickle-shaped cell. It almost looks like a crescent moon, which then could clog arteries and capillaries.
Okay.
And then there's also other diseases like that might have factors that lead to them, such as like heart disease. There is like high cholesterol. There's a gene for high cholesterol, and there's different variances of it. And because of that, there is a lot of different treatments, such as gene therapy. That's probably the most up-and-coming treatment there is, as people are starting to figure out what causes certain diseases.
Now, explain to me the difference between what you want to do, and I know a lot of people are interested in being genetic counselors. What's the difference between what you want to do and a genetic counselor?
A genetic counselor focuses in on the family. So say there's the family has a child with Down syndrome. The genetic counselor helps deal with that family, like informs them about the disease, teaches them about the disease and what it is and what happens that causes it, what it will be like in life and raising a child with Down syndrome. Whereas a research geneticist, which is what I want to do, will be in the lab figuring things out like that.
On how to prevent it, stop it?
On how to prevent it, stop it, and even just find it. Like there are some diseases where it's a question mark on what it is and how it happens. It's just so random that no one has any idea how it came to be. It's just kind of there. All right, so I got another joke for you.
Oh, please do.
What did one cell say to his sister cell when she stepped on his toe?
I don't know.
Mitosis.
And what is mitosis?
It's cell division. It's not reproduction, but when cells end up dividing every couple weeks. So then that one cell technically dies, but then 2 come from it.
That's with all living things, plants, animals, humans.
Yes.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. I even got another one for you.
Oh boy. Okay.
One plant says to another plant, "Are you hungry?" And the other plant replies, "I could use a light snack."
Light in terms of sunlight?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you science types really have your own sense of humor, don't you?
We do. It's a very punny sense of humor.
Well, that's okay, I suppose. Especially if you're working in a lab all day.
Yeah.
Why do you want to study humans and not plants? I mean, obviously there's genetics that go on in plants, so why do you want to focus on humans more than animals or plants for that matter?
There are so many other problems in the human genetic code that are random, that people don't take the time to research. There are some diseases or areas of disease that don't get as much attention as something like breast cancer would say, which breast cancer is genetic, or there's genetic factors to it that could help cause breast cancer. But then there's other diseases that are still fairly prominent that just don't get as much social and media attention.
Is there a particular area that at this point in time you feel that you want to focus on?
I really want to focus on autoimmune diseases because it just fascinates me that your own body attacks itself in some way. That there's something going wrong, that your body is caving in on itself.
That's a pretty huge umbrella, because autoimmune diseases can be anything from AIDS to psoriasis to Crohn's disease to, it's a pretty large task, but I would imagine if you can crack the code on one, that might crack the code on all of them, how to get the body to stop fighting itself. That would be pretty amazing. You had mentioned earlier on that you like doing service work, and you are in some volunteering type clubs. What would you say was your most memorable moment in terms of some service work that you've done?
My most memorable moment would probably have to be when I was volunteering at Love Elgin Day, which would happen in the next town over from where I live, between 4 or 5 different churches that would each specialize in a different necessity for some of these people that don't have a whole lot, that need more. Like, for example, one church would do food stamps, and you would be able to get food that's based on donations, whether it's monetary or it's just, here's a box of rice, I hope someone gets it and will be able to feed their families with it. Or there's another church that focuses on clothing, same type of deal, where it's donations straight from the people, or it's monetary donation that they go out and buy other clothing. So the most memorable moment was when I was helping carry the boxes of food for the people that had the food stamps. I was helping carrying them upstairs because the collection was in a basement, and me and my friend at the time had helped this one woman, and we put the boxes in her car for her, and she looked at us both dead in the eyes and said, "God bless you guys," with tears in her eyes. And I've never had such an elated feeling knowing that I helped someone. Me directly to them, I helped that person.
If you can make your dreams come to fruition, there's going to be a lot of people in this world that you will have a hand in helping, which will be pretty satisfying, I would imagine, for you.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, this interview has been very insightful in terms of what's going on in high school science. It sounds like a lot of your curriculum through your 4 years in high school has been very science-based,
Mm-hmm.
and has really kind of prepared you to make this decision in a career path that you'd like to go through. So that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty exciting to see where it will take you and what difference you can make in other people's lives. So with that, thank you, Kylee, for your time in helping me fill the current High School Science Geek segment. We appreciate your time.
I have another joke.
Oh boy. Okay.
You're gonna love this one.
This is one for the road?
Yes.
Okay.
Why are men sexier than women?
Why?
You can't spell sexy without XY.
Because the XY makes up the male, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I think that's a wrap on that. Thanks everybody for joining us. Have a good rest of your day.
Hey. 2 blood cells got met and got married, but alas, it was in vain.
Okay, well, I guess it's funny to your kind.
Why are you doing me so much bogus? I'm just trying to tell jokes here, okay? What's the difference between a dog and a marine biologist?
I don't know.
One wags a tail and the other tags a whale. How does Juliet maintain a constant body temperature?
I don't know.
Homeostasis.